You are not going to believe what is happening right now. I mean it sincerely when I say that in all my years in Washington, and I have been around a long time, I have never seen anything quite like this, because the walls are finally closing in and the truth is finally coming out, and Donald Trump is erupting. He is absolutely losing his mind because a secret Department of Justice tape has just gone public and it changes everything. I mean everything. Welcome back to Bell with Bounce. I am your host, Joe Biden. Now look, I need you to do me a favor, a big favor. I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, not for me, but for the country, because we are in a battle for the soul of this nation, and we need everyone on the team, so please join us and let's get the facts out there. Here's the deal, folks. We have been talking about accountability for a long time, haven't we? We have been talking about the rule of law, about the idea that no one is above the law, not the president, not the former president, nobody. And for years, Donald Trump has tried to wiggle out of it. He has tried to delay. He has tried to deflect. He has tried to gaslight the American people into thinking that up is down and black is white. But today, the gig is up today. The curtain is pulled back because this tape, this audio recording that was never supposed to see the light of day, has leaked. And it is devastating. It is absolutely devastating. And even George Will, a conservative, a man who I don't agree with on a lot of things, let me tell you, we have had our differences over the years on policy, but George Will is a serious man. He is a man who cares about the institutions of this country. And even he is looking at this and saying, my God, this is it. This is the smoking gun. And let me tell you, folks, when you lose George Will, when you lose the intellectuals of your own party, you are in deep, deep trouble. You have to understand the context here. This isn't just some random conversation. This is a tape from inside the Department of Justice, arguably the most sacred institution in our government, the place where justice is supposed to be blind, where the scales are supposed to be balanced. And what we hear on this tape, according to the reports, and I have read the transcripts, I have seen, the reporting is a former president of the United States trying to weaponize the DOJ, trying to use it as his own personal law firm to stay in power, to overturn the will of the people. And that is not just wrong, it is criminal, it is seditious, and it is a betrayal of the oath that we both took the oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, not to preserve, protect, and defend your own ego or your own power. And Trump, he is erupting. He is on social media, screaming in all caps, calling it a witch hunt, calling it a disgrace, attacking the prosecutors, attacking the witnesses, attacking everyone but himself, because that is what he does. That is the only play in his playbook: deny, attack, and play the victim. But this time, it is not going to work, because the American people can hear it with their own ears. They can hear the tone of his voice. They can hear the desperation. They can hear the mob boss tactics. Just say the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me. That is what he said, or something very close to it. And when you hear that, when you hear a president telling the top law enforcement officials in the land to lie to the American people just to keep him in office, it sends a chill down your spine. It really does. My father used to say, Joey, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It is about your dignity. It is about respect. And what Donald Trump did on that tape was strip the dignity away from the presidency. He treated the office like a toy. He treated the Constitution like a piece of paper that he could just tear up if he didn't like the results of an election. And that is why George Will is speaking out. That is why people are stunned, because we have never seen this kind of direct evidence before. We have had testimony. Sure, we have had memos, but a tape is different. A tape is visceral. You can't spin a tape. You can't say, oh, he didn't mean it, when you hear him say it in his own voice. And that is why he is panicking. That is why he is lashing out, because he knows he is cornered. He knows that this is the kind of evidence that sways juries, that sways voters, that changes history. Think about the history of this country, folks. We have been through a lot. We have been through Civil War. We have been through Great Depressions. We have been through World Wars. But we have always come out stronger on the other side. Why? Because we respected the institutions. We respected the guardrails of democracy. But what we are seeing here, what this tape reveals, is an attempt to tear down those guardrails, to smash them to pieces, just because one man couldn't handle the fact that he lost fair and square. And let me tell you, he lost. I beat him by 7 million votes, 306 electoral votes, the same number. He called a landslide when he won, but he couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept that the American people said, enough, we want decency, we want normalcy, we want a leader who cares about us, not just about himself. And so he tried to cheat. He tried to pressure the DOJ, and now we have the proof. And George Will pointing this out, is significant because it shows that the dam is breaking. It shows that the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, the party of Reagan, is starting to wake up, or at least some of them are starting to wake up to the reality of who Donald Trump really is. He is not a conservative. He is not a Republican. He is a demagogue, plain and simple. He is a man who cares about nothing but his own survival, and he will burn down the country if he has to, just to save his own skin. And that is what this tape shows. It shows a man willing to destroy the Department of Justice, willing to destroy faith in our elections, willing to destroy the peaceful transfer of power just to stay in the White House for 4 more years. Well, folks, we didn't let him do it then, and we are not going to let him get away with it now, because accountability matters, justice matters. You know, I travel the world. I meet with world leaders. I was just at the G7, and they asked me, Joe, is America going to be okay? Is your democracy going to survive? And I tell them, yes, it is, because the American people are good people. They are strong people, but we have to prove it. We have to prove that when we see corruption, when we see criminality, we call it out, we punish it, we don't look the other way. And this tape is a test. It is a test for the Department of Justice. It is a test for the Congress, and it is a test for us. The voters, are we going to accept this? Are we going to normalize this? Or are we going to stand up and say, no, this is not who we are? I believe we are going to stand up. I really do. I have faith in this country. I have never been more optimistic about our future than I am today, despite all of this mess, despite all of this noise, because I know that at the end of the day, Americans love their country, they love their freedom, and they know a con man when they see one. And Donald Trump is the ultimate con man, but the tape strips away the con. It reveals the man behind the curtain. And it is not a pretty picture. It is a picture of a small, fearful, angry man who knows he did wrong and is terrified of the consequences. And let's talk about the consequences, because they are real. We are talking about obstruction of justice. We are talking about conspiracy to defraud the United States. These are serious crimes, folks. These are crimes that send people to prison for a long time. And Trump knows that he has lawyers telling him that even though he probably isn't listening to them because he thinks he knows better than everyone else, but deep down in that gut of his, he knows he is in trouble. He knows that Jack Smith is not playing games. He knows that the grand jury is not playing games, and he knows that this tape is the final nail in the coffin of his defense, because how do you defend against your own voice? How do you defend against your own words? You can't. And that is why he is erupting. That is why the all-caps tweets are flying at 3 in the morning, because he can't sleep. He can't rest. He is haunted by his own actions. George Will called it a constitutional crisis or something to that effect, and he is right. It was a crisis, but we survived it. We held the line. The people at the DOJ, the people like Rich Donahue and Jeff Rosen, they stood up. They said, no, Mr. President, we won't do that. We won't lie for you. And they are heroes in my book. They really are. They saved the republic in that moment. But the fact that they had to, the fact that a president would even ask them to do that is the scandal. It is the disgrace. And now we all get to hear it. We all get to bear witness to the attempted coup, because that is what it was, a coup, a soft coup, maybe, but a coup. Nonetheless, an attempt to overthrow the government from the inside, using the levers of power against the people. And look, folks, I get it. People are tired. They are tired of the drama. They are tired of the anger. They just want to pay their bills and raise their kids and have a nice life. I get that. I really do. That is what I want for you, too. That is why we are working so hard on the economy, on infrastructure, on bringing down costs. But we can't ignore this. We can't just turn the page and say, oh, well, that was the past. Because if we don't deal with the past, it comes back to haunt us. If we don't hold the people responsible for this accountable, they will do it again. And next time, they might succeed. Next time, they might have people in place who won't say no, who won't stand up for the Constitution. So we have to deal with this. We have to face it head on, no matter how ugly it is, no matter how painful it is. The secret nature of this tape is also important. Why was it secret? Why did they try to hide it? Because they knew how bad it was. They knew that if the American people heard this back in 2020 or 2021, it would have been game over. So they buried it. They hid it in a vault somewhere. They claimed executive privilege. They claimed national security. They claimed everything under the sun to keep it from you. But the truth has a way of coming out. It really does, like water. It finds the cracks, it seeps through, and eventually the dam breaks, and today the dam broke, and we are all getting wet with the truth. I want you to think about what this means for the future of the Republican Party, too, because they have a choice. to make a real choice. Are they going to continue to follow this man? Are they going to continue to defend the indefensible, to excuse the inexcusable? Or are they going to listen to people like George Will? Are they going to look at the evidence and say, we can't support this anymore. We can't be the party of insurrection. We can't be the party of obstruction. I hope they make the right choice. I really do, for the sake of the country. We need a strong two-party system. We need a healthy opposition. But right now, the Republican Party is being held hostage by a cult of personality, by a man who demands absolute loyalty, even if it means betraying the country. And that is dangerous. It is dangerous for them, and it is dangerous for us. And Trump's reaction, his eruption, it tells you everything you need to know about his state of mind. He is not acting like an innocent man. An innocent man would say, play the tape, I have nothing to hide. An innocent man would say, let the facts come out. But he is fighting it tooth and nail. He is attacking the judge. He is attacking the process. He is attacking the very idea of justice because he knows he is guilty. He knows he crossed the line. And he knows that this time there is no one left to protect him. No Bill Barr to write a summary. No Senate to acquit him. This time it is just him and the law. And that is a terrifying place for a bully to be. You know, when I ran for president, I said we were in a battle for the soul of this nation, and some people thought I was being hyperbolic. They thought I was just using a campaign slogan, but I meant it. I meant every word of it, because I saw what was happening. I saw the hate. I saw the division. I saw the attacks on our institutions, and I knew that if we didn't stop it, we would lose everything that makes America special. And this tape, this revelation, it proves that the battle is still going on. It proves that the threat is still real, that there are forces out there that want to tear us apart, that want to turn us against each other, that want to destroy our democracy for their own gain. And we have to fight back. We have to stand firm. We have to say, not on our watch. George Will understands that he is a student of history. He knows that democracies are fragile things. They don't last forever unless you tend to them, unless you protect them. And he sees what Trump did as a direct threat to that fragility, as a hammer taking a swing at the vase of democracy, and he is right. So when you hear Trump screaming about unfairness, when you hear him whining about persecution, remember what is on that tape. Remember the voice of a man trying to steal your vote, trying to steal your voice, trying to steal your country, and don't let him do it. Don't let him gaslight you into thinking this is normal. It is not normal. It is aberrant. It is wrong, and it is un-American. We have a lot of work to do, folks. We have to heal this country. We have to bring people together, but we can't heal without truth. We can't have unity without accountability. You can't just sweep this under the rug and hope it goes away, because the lump under the rug will just get bigger and bigger until we all trip over it. So we have to lift up the rug, we have to sweep out the dirt, and we have to start fresh with a commitment to the rule of law and to the Constitution. That is the only way forward. That is the American way. And let me tell you about the Department of Justice for a second, because I know the men and women who work there. I know the FBI agents. I know the prosecutors. They are patriots. They are not political hacks. They are not part of some deep state conspiracy. They are hardworking Americans who want to keep our communities safe, who want to uphold the law, and for Trump to attack them the way he does, to call them thugs and monsters, it is disgraceful. It really is. It undermines their work. It puts their lives in danger, and it shows a complete lack of respect for the people who serve this country. He should be ashamed of himself, but we know he has no shame. So it is up to us to have shame for him. It is up to us to defend these institutions because they belong to us, not to him. This tape is going to be played in history classes for 100 years. Mark my words, kids are going to listen to it, and they are going to ask their teachers, how did this happen? How did a man like this get elected? How did he get so close to destroying everything? And the answer will be that good people stood up, that the system worked, that the truth came out, and that is the happy ending we are working towards. That is the legacy we want to leave, not a legacy of chaos and corruption, but a legacy of resilience and justice. And so when you see the headlines, when you hear the pundits talking about this, remember the core issue here. It is not about politics. It is not about Democrats versus Republicans. It is about right versus wrong. It is about truth versus lies. It is about the Constitution versus a man who wanted to be a king. And in America, we don't have kings. We have presidents, and presidents answer to the people. And the people are finally getting the answers they deserve, thanks to this tape, thanks to the brave people who leaked it or released it, and thanks to the journalists who are covering it. And George Will. God love him for speaking out. I know it's not easy for him. I know he takes a lot of heat from his own side, but he is putting country over party, and that is what we need more of. We need more people willing to say this is wrong, even if it hurts their political standing. We need more courage in Washington. We need more spine, because silence is complicity, folks. Silence is acceptance, and we cannot accept this. We cannot be silent. We have to speak up. We have to speak out, and we have to demand justice. The eruption from Mar-a-Lago is just noise. It is sound and fury signifying nothing, as Shakespeare said, but the tape is substance. The tape is evidence. The tape is the truth, and the truth is the most powerful weapon we have in this fight. So let the truth ring out. Let it be heard in every corner of this land, from the red states to the blue states, from the cities to the farms. Let everyone hear what Donald Trump really thinks of our democracy, and let them decide for themselves who they want to lead them, who they want to trust with their future. I am betting on the American people. I am betting that when they hear this, they will reject the hate, they will reject the division, and they will embrace the light, they will embrace the hope, because that is who we are. We are a hopeful people. We are a resilient people. We are the United States of America, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing we can't do if we do it together. So let's do this together, folks. Let's stand up for the truth. Let's stand up for justice. And let's make sure that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. I want to pivot for a second to why this matters for your kitchen table, because I know you're sitting there thinking, Joe, this is all high-level stuff. What does it mean for me? Well, it means everything, because if we don't have a stable government, if we don't have the rule of law, then the economy collapses, then the markets crash, then the world loses faith in the dollar. It is all connected, folks. You can't have a strong economy with a weak democracy. It doesn't work that way. Stability breeds prosperity. And Trump brings instability. He brings chaos. He brings uncertainty. And businesses hate uncertainty. Families hate uncertainty. You want to know that your savings are safe. You want to know that your job is secure. And you can't know that if the president is trying to overturn elections and weaponize the Justice Department, so this is an economic issue too, make no mistake about it. And look at the timing of this tape coming out now as we head into another election cycle. It is a reminder, a stark reminder of what is at stake. We are not just choosing between two candidates. We are choosing between two visions of America. One vision is dark and angry and vengeful. The other vision is hopeful and inclusive and law-abiding. I know which vision I prefer, and I think I know which vision you prefer, because I have met you. I have looked in your eyes. I have shaken your hands, and I see the goodness in you. I see the desire to do the right thing, and doing the right thing means rejecting the politics of the tape and embracing the politics of the Constitution. So don't let the noise distract you. Don't let the eruption scare you. It is the last gasp of a failed movement. It is the tantrum of a man who knows he has lost and is trying to burn down the house on his way out. But we have the fire extinguishers, we have the truth, we have the law, and we have each other. So hold the line, folks. Keep the faith, and remember that we are all in this together, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And George Will, you know, he wrote a column about this likely, and he probably used a lot of big words because he is a smart guy, but the message is simple. The message is that character counts, that honesty counts, and that we can't survive without them. So listen to him. Listen to the tape, and then listen to your own heart, because your heart will tell you what is right. It will tell you that we are better than this, that we deserve better than this, and that we are going to get better than this, because we are Americans, and Americans never give up. We never give in. We just keep moving forward. This secret tape isn't secret anymore. And that is a good thing. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, as Brandeis said. And we are shining a lot of sunlight on the dark corners of the last administration. And what we are seeing is ugliness. But clearing out the ugliness is how we heal it, is how we rebuild it, is how we build back better. Not just our roads and bridges, but our institutions and our trust. So let the light shine in, folks. Let it shine bright, and let it cleanse the wounds of the past so we can move forward into a brighter future. I truly believe that our best days are ahead of us. I really do. I know it looks dark sometimes. I know the headlines are scary, but if you look past the headlines, if you look at the people in your neighborhoods, you see resilience, you see hope, you see the true spirit of America, and that spirit is stronger than any tape. It is stronger than any lie. It is stronger than any politician. It is the spirit that built this country, and it is the spirit that will save it. So thank you for listening, folks. Thank you for caring about this country. Thank you for being part of this great experiment in self-government. And remember, no matter how loud the eruption gets, no matter how crazy the tweets get, the truth is on our side, and the truth will set us free. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.